We are in the Forlorn Muskeg. There's an Aurora. It's about 4 or 5 hours pre-dawn, and we are going to go on a forge run. What could possibly go wrong? Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. Before I head out, let me go ahead and... I believe I have more than 1 tin of coffee. Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of coffee. Just 2. That's all we can make. And we'll pass the time on these. Drink that one. We'll put the other one away. Now, since we're putting that in the flask by itself... Where's the flask? There it is. Would still love for them to add a more intuitive system for selecting the flask out of your inventory than what we currently have. Anyway, since I am adding that to the flask... There's a bear that direction somewhere, but I'm going to head this way instead. I'm going to try to kind of go around the long edge, which might take me past some wolves. But since we have such a clear view, it seems like the best way to go about this right now. So yeah, since I only have that 1 coffee in the flask, it's going to cool down pretty quickly. But the main thing is that I have the warmth gained from drinking the first one, and hopefully I don't lose the warmth on the second one because it cooled down too quickly. One of the really nice things about having an Aurora, even on this difficulty, is that, which remember we do have the Auroras turned up on this code, so they're more frequent. It does make things really clear, just from a pure visibility standpoint. You're able to see much more straightforwardly. Did I just see a wolf's eye? You're able to see much more straightforwardly where the threats may be and where you need to go. Okay, can't get over this thing. There we go. Which is nice. And considering that we're not that cold right now, we're honestly not that cold at all. It's like 23 degrees Celsius. So we have less than, or Fahrenheit. We have less than 10 degrees of a difference between where we're at and freezing. So that's good. I'm just going to meander this way slightly. When trying to cross the muskeg, it's generally best to hug this side if you don't want to run into any backtracking situations. The downside of that is that it does force you closer to where wolves have typically been in the past. Of course, I know nothing. I am Jon Snow in this situation. Or Jennifer Snow, perhaps. And there's a blind hill right in front of me, and I don't like that. Okay, so I don't see any wolves in that direction. That's interesting. I've got another torch. I don't think it's going to really last that long. Could have grabbed a few more off of that fire, but it's okay. The fact is, we're actually pretty warm. And it's probably just because it's fairly early in the game, so the game is not cooled down too much yet. Still pretty warm during the day. And even at night. Okay, interesting. I am looking everywhere. I see some cattails, but I'm going to pass those. Because calorically, we're actually doing okay. Alright, there's the hunting blind there, but I don't want to risk heading that direction if it would take me closer to any wildlife. So I'm going to stick to my guns. And just keep moving this way. I think one of the riskiest things about our present situation is that with the settings as they are, I'm not positive. Oh, I missed it. Oh, maybe not. Got it. I'm not positive that a rifle shot is going to drop an Aurora wolf. Yeah. Yeah, I said that. That's a concern. Because thankfully, we did get some sleep right at the end of the last episode, so our condition is much better than it has been. But that doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be enough against an attack from an Aurorified wolf. I don't have much to defend myself with at the moment. I just don't. Okay, so we're heading into hillier terrain. I do not like it. So I'll probably just need to get the rifle out soon as a self-defense measure. So what I'm probably going to do, you'll see me take some shots. If I do get charged by a wolf, you'll see me take some shots at those wolves much sooner than I typically would in other situations. Okay, hold on. Let's quickly take this back out. I'm going to go ahead and drink that. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to hug this shoreline because I cannot see over that ridge to my left. And I don't want there to be wolves right on the other side of it. Plus, we need to kind of head this way anyway. To the extent that we can. Ice is pretty good here. Thankful for that. Okay, still don't have perfect visibility off to my right. Let's do a quick sprint just to stay a little bit farther from the ridge. Okay, I don't see any wolves, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. There's lots of obstruction. There could be some much closer than I'd like. But I can literally see the forge already. We're that close. Well, not the forge, but I can see the orchard near the forge. Alright, and this is where things can get a little bit dicier. Not only because the path is imperfect, but because I have no idea where the threats are. I know I'm moving my head around even more than usual. It's because I'm looking just to see... I mean, yes, I'm looking for my own protection, but I'm also just curious. Like, hey, where are the wolves? I want to know. Alright, hold on. Was I able to climb that? That seems like I was able to get up that. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now, if I recall correctly, I actually can't... Yeah. Okay, this is a tight spot. Yeah, as soon as I started crossing this log, I thought to myself, wait a minute, isn't this a dead end? And there's thin ice on the other side of it. That's where we're at. There's some rose hips. I'll go ahead and grab these. Yeah, see, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. It's going to add a little bit of time, but the fact is we are reasonably well fed. Our thirst is fine. We're not cold. We're not losing temperature too quickly. There's even a cave over here if I needed to take shelter. I would rather follow the coastline than risk falling into the ice. The only thing I'm not sure of, because I've got my hacksaw with me. I've got the heavy hammer. There's metal stuff that I can cut up here, so I will have some metal, but I don't have necessarily all the coal I need or necessarily all the metal I need. So at the very least, we're going to leave the heavy hammer here, even if we can't make all the tools we need to, because we can come back here and make them later. The original plan, if you missed the last episode, the original plan was to leave the heavy hammer right within the Forlorn Muskeg sort of entry area and then dip back into Mystery Lake, keep scavenging that zone, because it's more loot dense, which is still the plan once we are done making tools here. But once I got into Forlorn Muskeg, I was just thinking more and more, well, hold on a minute, what if I went all the way to the train cars? And then when I got to the train cars, I lit a fire and was like, well, hold on a minute, what if we could actually just get to the forge now? And then go back. It's a bit of a risky proposition, for sure. Oh, this is interesting. I don't remember this being quite so sealed off. I remember there being more of a path here. Maybe it's just been a minute. I did hear wolves howling earlier, by the way. Yep, there's one right there. Right in front of me. Which means there could be another one nearby. So I need to... Oh, yep, I see two. So I need to take things slow a little bit. This is exactly where I kind of heard them. Alright, so there are two right there. I don't know what their pathing is, but man, they are close to that bridge. I do not like this. I mean, thankfully, again, we're warm. We're well-fed. But the problem with an aurorified wolf, I mean, the sun's coming up, so if the aurora effect wore off properly, which it doesn't always, sometimes there can be bugs, and the aurora effect stays on. Sometimes it stays on a while after dawn. Okay. Even when there's not a bug involved. Alright, so they're howling. I think those are the only two. But man, that is risky placement. And I feel like with our wolf fear settings and our detection range settings, I don't want to risk standing up right now. So I am inching my way around. Also don't want to get a sprain right now on this slope, so I'm trying to be careful. Yeah, see, now this wolf is coming right toward me. I do not like that. I do not like that. Please, please go the other way. Please, for the love, thank you. Do not like that. I mean, I've got enough health to where I could probably tangle with the wolf right now, but an aurorified wolf would do more damage to me before I got him off. And again, I'm not confident that one shot would take him down. We're near the beginning of the series. Doesn't necessarily feel that way, because we had a gap there for a moment, for technical reasons, but we're near the beginning of the series. I don't want to do anything too risky while I'm still building up my clothing, my supplies, my overall fortitude. Okay. We're almost to a point where I'd be comfortable standing up. Thankfully, I think those are the only two wolves in the area. And they seem to have a relatively small area where they're kind of wandering. They're not on a path. They're sort of meandering around in that spot and not really going anywhere, which is interesting. Not sure what to make of that. I don't know if it'll change when the aurora goes away. That's possible. So they're still uncomfortably close, even though I'm getting much closer to the edge of the water here. Yeah, see, I don't want to stand up right now. We're right on the edge of what could serve as aggro range. The plus side is that I'm at a point where I could potentially run all the way to the forge. Yeah, starting to get pretty cold. That's a problem. Because that would also make it harder to shoot. But if there are more wolves at the forge, which I don't know, then what are we going to do? Because then I'd be running straight into the jaws of another aurorified wolf. So let's not do that. Alright, starting to get hungry too. I've got some cattails which I'll grab. Or snack on, should say. More howling. Thankfully, because we have made it across without actually dipping into the red on any of the meters, we haven't been losing health at all here, which is nice. Alright, I'm going to take a bit of a risk to stay away from those wolves. Interesting. So one wolf just got aggroed off in that direction. That's not good.
If I don't warm up soon.
That's not good at all. Because now we have fog coming in too. Not sure why that wolf ran all the way this direction. I think what happened... Sometimes they can aggro, and... Yeah, that's really inconvenient, because now I'm cold. There's fog rolling in. I don't know where the wolf is. There's visual obstruction in front of me. It's getting darker. Prior to it getting lighter, obviously. This ice better not be thin. I swear to God, that would be the last straw. No, it wouldn't be the last straw, but that would be stressful. So what happened there is, I think they did aggro when I was running, and then they lost line of sight, so they de-aggroed. I'm going to cross here and see if I can get away with it. Alright, all the howling that I hear is kind of behind me, which is good. But I do not know where that wolf that ran off this way went. So yeah, when they de-aggro, they can sometimes act spooked. It's not just that they give up, they'll run off. Because nothing scared them. There's no other animal in the area that would have scared them. I would have seen it. I would have heard it. If there was a bear nearby, I would have heard that. But I really don't want to give up too much condition here to the cold, so... The other reason that I'm staying low to the ground and going nice and slow is that, again, I'm not confident that the Aurora effect is going to be off of that wolf. Unfortunately, need to pay attention to that. But I don't hear any footsteps and don't hear any howling this direction, so I'm going to go ahead and stand up. I thought that branch was a wolf head for a second. Wow. Okay. I do think I hear some wolves off to the left, which is less than ideal, but that's the forge right there. So all I really need to do is get in there. Even if there are wolves nearby, I can probably juke past them at this point. Unless they're super close, which is possible. Alright, I don't see or hear any wolves nearby. I'm going to quickly check back here for coal. So there sometimes can be supplies on the outside. Yep, there's some coal. Just one. That's suboptimal. Alright, checking around the front. Oh man, okay, we made it. We actually made it. And it's dawn. The sun's going to start coming up. We're not even that tired. So that worked. That frickin' worked. Holy crap. There's some firewood. That's perfect. And of course we have the crate here, but we need to get the fire going really before we do anything too crazy. Now you can tell the sun's coming up. Let's take a quick look around loot-wise. I see some work gloves. That might be nice. I think if I repair those, I might need to repair those and see if they're going to be better. I think they are. But it's right on the line. Okay. Replacement fuse, wires. There's some more coal there, and there's our trusty ski jacket.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Always here. We already have a ski jacket, though, so I'm probably going to just drop that one for now. Holy crap. Alright, I definitely need to get a fire going. I know. Need a fire. Don't need to lose more health unnecessarily. Oh, nice. That is 3 pieces of coal and some scrap metal. And there's that. I knew there was a first aid kit. Just couldn't see it in the twilight lighting. Okay, furnace. Start fire. That probably is enough coal to get it heated up to forge temperatures, which is nice. Okay, we're going to use an accelerant just to have this going and get warm as fast as we possibly can. Let's go ahead and add everything we can wood-wise first. And how warm is that? Alright, we're going to need to add one piece of... Well, hold on. Is there any more coal or... Yeah, there's more firewood up here. Before we add any coal to the fire, let's pick up what we can. Nice. Now we're warm enough. So now what I can do is start... Hang on, let's check a few things. Yeah, calorically we're doing okay. Break that down. Yeah, I've got 11 pieces of coal. That's going to be more than enough to get this thing up to forge temperatures. And we just need to be able to stay fed while we're here, which is going to be a little bit tougher, but we do have some potatoes, which is good. 45 minutes to break these 6 reclaimed wood down. That's imperfect, but 169 calories. Okay, let's do it.
I could eat a horse.
We do have the well-fed bonus at the moment, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. Alright, so the fire is currently a 7-hour fire. Now, the only downside to adding coal at this point is that we can only add so much, right? So we almost need to let some time pass while we try to feed ourselves, which is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to cook a potato. It's going to take some time. And we can also probably get some rest. Probably be a good idea. It's going to take an hour for that to cook. If I were to sleep for an hour, I'd get a little bit of condition back. The potato would cook, and we stay warm, and we also lose an hour on the fire. Let's go ahead and eat that. Cook the other potato. We're also passing time during this fog, which is nice. A note left behind. Backer 4783. I've read this one several times, like in the last 6 months alone, so I'll not reread that one this time. Alright, improves cooking skill by 10 points. Very nice. For now, let's just sleep for another hour. Thirst is going to be a bit of an issue. Nice. The weather's cleared outside. Let's go ahead and eat that. All right, calorically we're doing a little better. Oh, I actually have more water than I thought I did. Okay, 0.3 gallons. Not too bad. So we've got 6 hours on the fire. Still. I could always heat up this birch bark tea. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea at all. Let's heat this. And then drink it. Just to recover a little bit more of that condition. We'll get some caloric value from this. And now we can go out looking for some cattails and maybe even kill a wolf. If we're lucky. Okay. Let's step over here. And then, of course, once the fire is a little bit lower, we can start piling coal onto it. Actually, with that in mind...
Hope nobody needs this
painkillers,
anymore.
nice. With that in mind, one thing I can do right now, there's no reason to lug the coal around. The coal can be dropped right here. I also have some extra newspapers that are not necessary. Alright, let's see what else we can find in the area. Nothing else at the workbench. I felt like I heard some wolves over that ridge earlier. Hang on, let me not be too cavalier. Get lower to the ground and have a look around. Okay, so doesn't seem like there are any wolves super close. Also, there are multiple prop carcasses that I can see. So we could potentially go get some meat right now. I'm going to go over here just to check for loot. I do see some more wood, which is great. Can add that to the fire to get it even warmer. Also some stones here. Now that the Aurora is gone, I'm a little bit less concerned. About dropping a wolf with a rifle shot, especially since I'm nice and warm. Doesn't seem like there are any nearby. At least not right now. So I might take this opportunity. Hang on. Let's pop this on the fire. Alright, still getting warmer from the wood input alone, but that's not going to last much longer. It only goes a little bit above 100, if I recall correctly, before you have to start adding coal if you want to get it up to forge temperatures. Alright, so I see several things I want to check. Firstly, I want to head out here. Still could be wolves on my left or right, so I want to be careful. But there are... Yeah, I see 2 prop deer over there. That's perfect. And without wolves super close, I'm a little bit less concerned about just grabbing the meat and coming back with it. So let me first check this loot location. Yep, we got some more reclaimed wood. Nice. Storm lantern. More coal. Really? That's interesting. I'll pick up the second storm lantern. We'll have to put that back down in a moment, but might have some fuel for me. Yeah, so the wolves are way over there. No cattails super close from what I can tell, but that's okay. 2 prop deer. Ice surprisingly not thin. Oh, I see some cattails over there. I can grab those later. For now, let's go ahead and grab just a full steak. Might as well grab the whole thing, it's fine. So this is going to attract some attention, almost certainly. So let's try and get back up to the forge, where we are a little safer. Just gonna beeline it. Come on. There's some more scrap metal, I'll grab that. I do have that extra storm lantern I need to get rid of as well. Okay, so that's the small one. That's the big one. Okay. Cooking pots. Let's go ahead and cook that gamey venison, shall we? So we're going to drop all of this coal. Yeah, we have plenty of coal now to get this thing nice and warm. That went well. All right, 37 minutes till that's ready. That's going to be a really good boost to our calories. While that's cooking, I can probably go out and grab the other one. Assuming the other wolves didn't come running for that first piece. So let's give this a wide berth, just to make sure. Because the other one is that one, I think. Yep, it is. And it's closer to the wolves, so if there's one that's going to attract their attention, it's going to be looting that one. So I think what I want to do is actually make for those cattails directly. Because I can grab those. We're not going to get the hides at the moment. I want to focus on getting my knife and hatchet first and foremost. Okay, the wolves, I don't think they moved in response to that first steak. So, hooray. There might be another wolf closer, though, because remember there was the one that aggroed this direction. He's probably returned to his normal path, but not quite sure. Okay, this is a little bit more rancid, looking like. That's suboptimal, but I'll take what I can get.
I need to find food.
You're literally holding some. Just need to cook it. Everything's fine. Oh, damn. Wasn't expecting that slope. Alright. I feel like if the wolves are coming, we're going to know any second. There's probably more wood over there, too, so there's plenty of wood nearby to maintain this fire. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Okay. Perfect. 3 minutes till this is done. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and pick all this up and set it up here. Ideally, you want to... Oh, hey. Animal fat. Ideally, you want to leave it in the snow. Useful in cooking, but can also be eaten on its own. How have I not... That's so freaking cool. It's literally a first for me, noticing that. Alright, so we've got this cooked. It's one of the newer things that have been added in the Tales updates. And I just wasn't ready. I was not ready. That's freaking cool. So much more nuance has been added. And it's really appreciated. Okay, so all that fat has been dropped back down. Could potentially cook that for some calories. We'll try that in a second. Can be eaten on its own if desperate for calories. So, hold on. Oh wait, I should probably pick it up if I want to look at the stats. Pure animal fat, useful in cooking, but can be eaten on its own. So it's, yeah, it's like a cattail, kind of. Okay, 32 minutes till that's ready. Alright, we'll put that there. Alright. How much time do we have left on this fire? Still 5 hours. I'm going to start adding some coal. Probably add one more. Would be my guess. Yep. Now it's getting nice and hot. The really nice thing about leaving here is that not only will we have our tools, but we will also be in a much better position weight-wise, because we won't need to be lugging that hammer everywhere. That's been making things difficult since we found it. I'm really glad we found it. But it's time we got rid of it. Let's go ahead and get this ski jacket. I'm going to need to tear that up for some cloth. Might tear a few things up for some cloth, to be honest. Ooh, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's not do that right now. We will harvest this. That's better. Okay. I'm really surprised by the current pattern of wolf movement around the forge. The previous spawn patterns of wolves, unless there are things I haven't seen yet, but the previous wolf patterns sort of protected the forge a little bit more. They made it kind of difficult to get up to it. I mean, there were wolves at that bridge, absolutely, and that was scary. But at the same time, like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, so now we're at 288, which means we are ready to make stuff. We only have 5 scrap metal right now, so we can go ahead and make the hatchet. Hang on, let's make sure we're good on thirst, which we're kind of not. But we have plenty of time, and then plenty of coal to keep the fire going after we do this. We also have this animal meat. So, tell you what. I'm tempted to go ahead and just cook it first, but let's make our hatchet. It's going to take 4 hours. But we'll finally have a hatchet, and then we'll have to break up that. We have a couple things we still have to loot here. We have a shelf to break up to get what we need for the knife. Okay, yeah, we're doing fine. I'm going to go ahead and cook these. It's going to take 12 minutes. We have a hatchet. Holla frickin' Luia. Oh, we also have that extra storm lantern. Let's go ahead and break down the... Well, I'm not going to break it down right now because it would take an hour. But I will drop this one. I will put it down right there, just so I don't forget about it. Now, of course, what's likely to happen at this point is Forlorn Muskeg will throw a massive curveball my way with the weather as I'm getting ready to leave. That's what I'm genuinely expecting. Let's pass the time. Eat that. And we'll go ahead and cook the other one. It is slightly lower condition meat, but cooking helps with that. Okay. Now, I don't have a ton of water. That's the one thing I need to probably make a lot of before I go to sleep. Now, in this case, there's something I can do with this time. Something really, really, really important, which I haven't had a chance to do a lot of. But I do have a book with me, and I'm going to use it. So let's read for 2 hours. We have the firelight.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Okay, let's drink that. That will completely quench our thirst. We have 4 hours left on the fire, but we can immediately change that. Perfect. Still need to read more, but for now, what I'm going to do is step up here. The most important thing right now is to sleep. And we're going to do that. We're going to sleep for 10 hours. We're going to sleep through the night. That fire will stay for the entirety of those 10 hours and then some, because it counts as an outdoor fire here in the Forlorn Muskeg Forge. Let's see how much time we have exactly as we wrap up here. Yep, still 4 hours and 24 minutes on that fire, which is freaking great. So next episode, I will go ahead and make the knife, which will require me to check the safe down there, go ahead and break down that shelf, and then we can head straight back to Mystery Lake and then into Milton with a full set of tools while we continue to scavenge the most loot-dense regions of Great Bear Island. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for that, Jennifer. Okay, bye.